Thank you.
It's very good. If you have not been, you have to go. But tell us a little bit about how this business got started and what kind of led you to open something like this here.
Well, how we got started? Well, we were in the bagel business down in Florida, and this was back in '87 when my daughter was born. Things changing a lot in Florida. We decided to move up here to the mountains, and we found that spot and have been there ever since 1988, 25 years.
Very nice.
Yeah, so that's the whole story, really. Not much to it.
Yeah, so talk to us a little bit about what you guys have in the Boone Bagelry.
Oh, well, we serve breakfast, which everybody seems to know about, but a lot of people don't realize the lunch that we have, the deli sandwiches. We have some different stuff like corned beef and pastrami that a lot of sandwich shops may not have. And burgers and hot dogs. So we serve a wide variety. We have vegetarian items. Years ago, I heard that vegetarians made up 10% of the eat-out population. It's like, well, let's get something on the menu for them. And so we try to serve everybody. Yeah.
And that's really hard to find, you know, in a lot of different restaurants and stuff. Vegetarian
Absolutely.
and vegan and all that kind of
Yeah,
stuff. So
it is. Yeah, so we do a little bit of both, you know. Yeah. Yeah, and it works out very well. Yeah.
Well, it's a great menu. I know I always have a hard time. A lot of times I'll get the same thing, but when I try to get something different, there's a ton of stuff on that menu. It takes me a while to decide.
Yeah, we have a very big menu, yes. Like I said, well, besides all the sandwiches that you could get, you have to remember we have 15 different types of bagels, so that makes it that many more. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the part I always struggle with is what kind of bagel.
What kind of
I
bagel?
want.
Yes, that's the thing that holds up the order all the time. And what would you like that on?
And you list all of the things you offer.
Yeah.
Very neat. Now, any most popular items?
Oh, most popular item is the Bagelicious. It's a
what I get.
breakfast sandwich with fried egg, bacon, ham, and cheese on it. We also are famous for our chicken salad. It's fresh white meat. And we make it right there on premise. You know, and like I mentioned before, our pastrami and corned beef are excellent for a Reuben and a Rachel. So those are some of the favorites. And of course, the cream cheeses. The
was gonna
vegetable
say.
spread, the spinach artichoke, strawberry, blueberry. We have, I believe, it's a dozen different types of cream cheese now.
yes, the
Yeah.
vegetable cream cheese and the blueberry is probably some of my favorite. So,
Good, very good.
so you make those in the
Those are made in-house also. Yeah, we don't really get anything ordered out, you know. It's just everything made right there. So that's what we're trying to bring. I always tell people I'm trying to bring a little bit of Brooklyn to Boone.
There you go.
Boone needs a little Brooklyn, definitely. Now, how did you initially kind of get into the bagel business, and how did you learn to do all these
Well,
things?
let's see. How did I get into? Actually, I got into the bagel business. We have family in New York that do bagels, but like I said, we were in Florida, and my father was working construction, and back then construction kind of died out, and a friend of his said, "Hey, why don't you try this?" We got into the bagel business, and I've been doing it ever since. I think I was 16, 17 years old when we first got started. And his place was called Bagel Break down in South Florida. Some of the people who might be watching from South Florida may know this.
Absolutely. Now, is making bagels difficult? What is that process?
No, like I said, with the family that we have up in New York, we're able to get our dough shipped to us, and then we can do all the baking right there on premise. So I don't have to go through all the steps of doing it, and it makes it much more convenient. If you call up in the morning saying, "Hey, I need 2 dozen of this type of bagel," we can have that ready for you within a couple hours. So yeah, it makes it very easy. Yeah.
So how early do you get up making bagels every morning?
Let's see. I'm usually up at around anywhere between 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. We get there around 4:30 to 5 o'clock and do our baking. We open at 6 in the morning. You know, I always felt 6 o'clock in the morning because my father was in the construction business. I remember him leaving early for work, and it's like, well, I'm there for these construction guys, road crews, whatever. So we're open at 6 o'clock in the morning, ready to go.
Very nice. So you guys have just opened up a new location.
That is correct, yeah. We're now located on 105, where the Water Wheel is. I don't know if you remember the old hotel out there, and Studio West Apartments are right behind us, and that location's doing pretty well. Yeah, it's going pretty good.
Yeah, I was just telling you earlier in the show, it's a lot easier for me to get there than it is it's closer than going all the way downtown.
Yes,
so.
and that was, we were looking at other locations, and maybe another spot. We were thinking maybe another town, and then it kind of dawned on us on how many people we haven't seen in a while over on the King Street location. And since we opened up the 105 location, I know why. They didn't want to deal with the traffic, the parking, what have you, and now we made it a little easier for people to get to.
Very nice.
But we still have the King Street location. Yeah.
Yes, yes. So you have the same kind of things that you have at your King Street location?
It's the exact same menu. Yes, it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Same hours?
Yeah, right now we're doing winter hours over on 105 where we close at 3 o'clock, but we're still open till 5 on King Street. Yeah.
And you guys do some late night hours on the weekends, correct?
That is correct. Friday and Saturday nights we are open from 11 p.m. to 3 a.m. in the morning, and it's to help out those people who might have had a little bit too much at one of the local establishments on King Street. That's only at the King Street location, by the way, but that's going very well. That's doing very well. Yeah.
Well, very good. How long have you been doing that?
Now we've probably been 2.5 to 3 years that we've been doing it in the evening, and it's funny because it's always been something. It's like, well, if it doesn't go, we're going to stop it. If it doesn't go, it's going to, and it just went. So yeah, there was a need, and we filled it, I guess. So
And you don't know until you try.
exactly, and that's we're always willing to try something. If you have an idea for a sandwich, let me know. We'll try it. Yeah.
Yeah. I always say you have plan A and you have plan B. So if plan A fails, you always got to fall back on plan B.
Right. Correct. That's it. Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
do you guys have a busiest time of the day? Is that in the morning or?
Well, it kind of spreads out, but yeah, we do get a little bit of a breakfast rush around 8, 9 o'clock, and then at lunchtime, of course, 12:30 to 1:30 or so can be a little busier, but for the most part, you should be able to find a table and get good service and be out of there in the time that you need to be. Yeah.
So is there a favorite lunch bagel?
A favorite lunch bagel is, well, I mentioned the chicken salad. Chicken salad on a sesame seed
Very
bagel.
good.
Yeah, with some Swiss cheese on it.
Good. I always get the turkey, so I may have
Turkey,
to
well,
branch
yeah,
out.
everybody thinks of turkey. Turkey has become kind of the main deli meat nowadays. So
It has.
And you guys also deliver, which is
yes,
fantastic.
yes, we deliver from both locations. So if you're on one side of 105, the number to call is 262-1600, and if you're over on the King Street side of town, call us at 262-5585. And yeah, we deliver all the hours that we're open, even in the late night too. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Now, obviously, you guys have grown quite a bit. You now have a second location. Looking ahead into 2014 in the future, where do you see Boone Bagelry going?
Well, right now, I don't see us doing a whole lot more than what we have right now, but we do have plans of maybe doing some other stores in other areas, other towns, and so that's we're looking to grow. My daughter has just become a partner, and it's nice to have that young blood involved because she's keeping us on our toes. And my wife and I, we got a little laid back, but she's doing a good job with it. Yeah.
Well, that's great. It's definitely a family business.
That's right. Yes. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, if you guys were not hungry before this interview, I'm sure you are now, so definitely head out to one of the 2 Boone Bagelry locations or stay at home and they will deliver it to you. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And we will be back in just a moment with more of the Mountain Television Network.